The whole woke movement is sweeping through country music now, too.
No.
Yeah. Yes. During the 2023 Country Music, is it the Country Music Television Awards? Anyway, the CMT Music Awards that were held in Austin, country music star Kelsey Ballerini performed her song, If You Go Down, I'm Going Down Too, with drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race surrounding her. Isn't that perfect? She appeared to be taking a shot at the customary home of the awards show, Tennessee, which recently passed a bill to limit sexualized entertainment visible to minors. Again, try to protect children, and of course, they don't like that. It creates a Class A misdemeanor offense for a person to engage in an adult cabaret performance on public property or in a location where the adult cabaret performance could be viewed by a person who's not an adult.
I mean, seriously, is that where we're at?
It is.
If your instinct is to protect those who want to be sexual in front of children and not to support those who are trying to defend children and keep them from this stuff,
it's unreal.
It's a world turned upside down, man.
Country music star Reba McEntire said she was disappointed with the bill.
Okay.
Wow. That surprises me. I wish they'd spend that much time and energy and money on feeding the homeless children, McEntire said. We've got a real problem in this country, she said. And to be worrying about men wanting to dress up as women, no, that's not the problem. Again, for the 1 millionth time, nobody had a problem with that before they started including children in this effort. God bless them to wear those high heels, she said. I feel for them. But let's center our attention on something that really needs attention. Yeah, because our children being protected. It's not worth our time, I guess. Right, Reba? Country music singer John Rich, thank heaven for John Rich, and Travis Tritt.
Too,
and a few others like this. But our friend John Rich took a swipe at the state of the CMT Awards on his social media account. No need to comment on the country music industry at this point. I'm just glad they're finally showing all you fans what they are really all about. That's interesting. I didn't realize this was happening. I mean, you knew that Tim McGraw and Faith Hill have been sounding off for years. You knew they were progressive, liberal, woke, but I didn't realize that it had infiltrated the entire industry to this extent. He said, I don't have the backing of the country music industry really much anymore. And that's okay. I'd rather have my freedom of speech than their approval any day of the week. Another country star who spoke out against woke culture was Travis Tritt, who announced he'd no longer work with Anheuser-Busch, the company, of course, that brews Budweiser and Bud Light, after, the whole transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney ad. I will be deleting all Anheuser-Busch products from my tour hospitality writer. I know many other artists who are doing the same, he said. Wow. Interesting. Because Maren Morris, you familiar with her?
No.
I'm not familiar with.
Is that country music?
Yes.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Sucks when Karens try to hide their homophobia / transphobia behind their protectiveness of the children.
Okay, you got me.
Are you kidding me? Why? How? It's really incredible. I mean, this was the last vestige of an industry of entertainment where you could pretty well count on them being fairly conservative.
There's no stone that's been left unturned by the left. There is no sacred ground. They've come for all of them.
Successfully. They've successfully come for them all. Wow. That's really disappointing to see. Also, last year, a White House staffer dressed as an Easter bunny prevented Joe Biden from answering questions. Remember that about his botched Afghanistan withdrawal?
Yep.
This Easter, the administration released a useless official assessment to do pretty much the same thing.
Yes.
And you won't be shocked to discover that the administration places most of the blame for the deadly debacle on Donald Trump.
That's what we said yesterday, yeah. That's where they decided they would lay the blame. It's not shocking at all that they... What is it that Kirby said about the report?
It's not about accountability.
It's not about accountability.
It's not about that. Why would you even bring up accountability? Nobody here is accountable for anything. Which David Harsanyi, who used to work here at the Blaze, also noticed and mentioned that this administration accepts no responsibility for anything. Thank you for noticing that, David, because it's an amazing phenomenon from the guy who said the buck stops with me, and it never has.
Never
once has the buck stopped with Joe Biden or anybody in his administration.
Yeah, but yesterday was a big day and a big victory for Joe Biden, who has single-handedly stopped the COVID epidemic in this country. He decided.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. They went ahead and ended the national emergency, the COVID emergency, yesterday instead of waiting until mid-May like it was originally.
Okay.
So
since nobody's gotten COVID in the last, year, or very few anyway,
I don't know.
I never hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
At least in my circle.
Let me tell you when you're going to hear about it.
When are we going to hear about it?
Okay. So you're going to hear about it just like I predicted for summer of 2022 to justify mail-in ballots and right, and
so next year,
drop boxes. So give it till next summer, and then you're going to hear if it's not COVID-19, it will be some excuse so that they will have more access to ballots.
COVID-19, monkeypox, whatever.
That's what they hung their hope on. Now there's there's a couple of things that they're trying to figure out if they're going to let the Ebola thing brew into something. And there's also this like fungus related to bats, but they've got time. They've got a year to get this figured out and what they're going to scare voters with to keep them at home.
They're probably plotting it right now. These secret meetings that they have all the time.
They've been plotting.
And every once in a while we get a glimpse into those meetings and find out that, we had that audio from, was it 2017 or 18, where they were talking about almost the exact virus that then hit us the next year.
Oh, well, they were talking about that was what was that called? That thing. Anyway,
yeah,
2019,
some kind of summit,
and it was just October,
right before it. So, yeah,
good times.
They're doing that again, I'm sure.
Event 201, is that what it was?
That might be it.
I think so. Yeah,
that might be it.
By the way, it's National Pet Day, so don't forget to feed your pets today. It's their day.
Do people normally forget to feed their pets?
You forget to feed your pets.
I hate when that happens.
I mean, that may have been a more calculated message to my children.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, all right. So do they once in a while forget to feed your pets?
Pet Day. Yeah.
Because don't you have multiple pets?
2 dogs and a rabbit.
Yeah. Okay. And it used to be cats. You were freaky cat people.
Look,
right?
circumstances
2 or 3, 4.
beyond my control ended up landing 4 cats with me.
4 cats. See, that's a problem. That's an issue.
It was, Pat.
Yeah. Also, I love this story. New York City continues to whine about their illegal alien problem. And so they're going to the federal government and begging them for $650 million to help them deal with the problem. They've taken in, get this, an average of 90 per day since July of last year.
That's like 30 seconds in Texas.
That's 32,000 migrants who are now living in city taxpayer-funded housing. Unlike Texas, where we've got, 7 million probably? And we have hundreds of thousands flooding across the border every single month. Last year it was, I think, 2.3 million that came across the border. Many of those in Texas. Probably most of those in Texas.
I'm your nightmare.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So, yeah, they're freaked out in New York City about the fact that now they're having to deal with the problem because, again, the genius of the move by Greg Abbott our Texas governor, who decided, you know what? I'm going to start putting illegal immigrants on buses, and I'm going to send them up to New York City so they can deal with this problem too. New York City, Martha's Vineyard, we're gonna give them a taste.
The right never comes up with something like this that is so successful.
No, and that's why it's so impressive that he did this. I mean, name another policy that has so quickly highlighted the crisis at the border. There's nothing. And also exposed the hypocrisy of the left. And in some cases has even brought attitude adjustment on the part of people on the left. Like, the mayor of New York, who realizes it's a crisis now.